After 3 months, yesterday, I went for a swim and was very apprehensive to go into the water. I was wondering whether I will sink rather than swim after 3 months. But I did swim, and it was a good swim. So I thought, well, I've done that, I should get into my exercise routine again. So I went for a coaching zone class this morning. It was my day off, so I went later, about 10 o'clock. And I was smart. I normally do a bit of weight, but I did a third of the normal weight I would do. And I huffed and I puffed all the way through and almost never got to the end. Now, there's no doubt I will get better at it. I'll regain my strength in a few weeks' time to be back to where I normally am and build on it. But all these days, there were so many classes on YouTube, which I tried for a few days, and after that I lost interest, and that was it. There was not much exercise at all in all these 3 months, if you'd say. So I, for one, need people around me to help me to exercise. So far, that's why I signed up for Coaching Zone, so there was someone there to coach me and other people exercising with me. So it is for me, I need someone to help me do just that, to keep fit. And it's a hard life. I mean, you can't be fit if you're lying in bed or sitting at the desk all the time. You need to go and do some exercise. And so discipline is very important. It's a hard road, but if you follow it in a well-disciplined way, you will keep healthy, you will recover quickly if you get sick, and you will be good. But it's a hard road. And if you don't do all the right things, then of course you're going to get sick, and then you're going to get worse and not recover as quick as you would normally do if you are healthy. So you see, in our physical life, if we can work out, it's good to exercise, it's not good to do nothing, then we must follow a similar principle in the spiritual life too. If we don't pray often, then how do you expect to be spiritually fit? It's so important for us to make sure we do our best. Now, I know with numbers for Mass is few, but in the Mass these days I can see some same faces coming regularly to Mass. Well, we are allowed to have 20 people. Why aren't we having 20 different people every day at Mass? We have 2 Masses every day in the parish. I think we're getting too comfortable. We're forgetting that, being at home and watching Mass, whether it's live or recorded, is not the same as being at Mass, at the sacrifice, and receiving Jesus in Holy Communion. There's lots of funny things going around with virus things, the cartoons and all that. There was one cartoon where it showed people died and they went to heaven, and on one side was those who went to Mass, and the other side was those who went to a live stream Mass, a recorded Mass, 2 lines. So the ones who had the Mass went to Mass. St. Peter welcomed them and showed them the gate, and they walked through the pearly gates and they got through. Those who watched Mass, live stream or recorded Mass, he showed them a TV of heaven and says, watch heaven from outside. We don't want that to happen to us. We want to make sure we'll be able to get into heaven, the real deal, not just see it on pictures and postcards. So too is with the Mass. We should be wanting to go to Mass. I mean, when I went to the gym this morning, I was quite safe. There were people sanitizing, cleaning constantly, and it was good for us to exercise, to keep physically fit. When we come to Mass, people are sanitized, their hands, their pews are sanitized, the environment is kept clean. So don't be afraid to go to Mass. It's important to go. If you can go, go. This is the most safest place you can be in. And look, we're all going to get a cold or a common cold or something or the other, and we have had it for such a long time. Now we are so frightened of even someone sneezing. Which is the normal thing. Something goes up your nose, you've got to sneeze. Something is stuck in your throat, you've got to cough. But everyone's afraid of sneezing and coughing these days. So it's important to realize that if we are to walk the narrow road, the hard road, well, this is it. This is it. And when the gospel was written, people were finding it hard to follow Christ. They've had lots of persecution, they suffered so much, but that was the road that led to life. Yes, they might suffer, be persecuted, burned at the stake, thrown to the lions, but they got to heaven. They got to enjoy real life for eternity, the fullness of life for eternity. And those who followed the wide road had lots of fun and everything with it and made all these bad choices, and the road did not lead to life. If you're someone who's making choices to hurt other people, you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be happy. Rather, live a life like the Lord is calling us to do, to follow Him. Yes, life is going to be difficult. It's going to have its challenges. But we will be happy. We will be happy. So we come to this Eucharist and pray for that grace, the grace to choose the difficult things these days. Because the difficult things are hard to choose. But it is the road that leads to life. And indeed, we want to live here and for eternity the fullness of life. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.